Everyone, this is Yonks with REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, and we are not actually doing our white paper working group. We are actually preparing for that, and this is a planning call that's super excited. As I was mentioning before we started the recording, this is something that we've had on the roadmap for quite a while, and we've got strong participation here. Thanks everybody for hanging out here on Thursday afternoon. The white paper that we're going to be, and one of the things that we're taking a little different approach, instead of just calling this a white paper working group, we're actually going to position it as a how-to. So that's one of the things that I would like all of us to be a little conscious about, as far as like, look at this as creating a solid piece of content. And that's one of the things to kind of go off on a tangent here. And I think Mrs. Yonks shared a book that we're huge proponents of. Let me do a quick search on Discord. And the reason that this is important, because I would like all of us here to think about REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, as a content DAO. So let me do a search for this content book that she was speaking of. And I don't know if we shared this. If not, we definitely will, because content, and this is one that Joe Paluzzi, he just updated it here, the second edition, and I'll share that in general so that everybody can take a look at that. That's one that Mrs. Yonks and I have been going through more than a couple times, the first edition, and now the second edition just got updated earlier in the year. So let me bring up the Trello card here that we've got for this call here today, and wanted to stop talking and let some other people chime in. As far as I know that Michaels, I'm not sure if I'm saying your Discord handle right, put together a lot of quality stuff there on the Trello card and let me bring that open here. So this is our Trello board, and the one that I was wanting to show you was the card on our roadmap. So this is, as I was mentioning, we've had on our roadmap for quite some time, and here it is at the top of our list for the Q4 of 2021 roadmap list here on Trello. And the stuff that I was talking about here that Michael added, let me make this bigger so that everybody can see, is the checklist details here. So again, thank you for doing that. One of the things that I think that we need to make a decision on, and I think that we should make a decision on this during today's planning call, is where we want the white paper to physically set. And what I mean by that is we have the opportunity of potentially being on our GitHub. So let me bring, because when I was on, and I can't remember when that was, but so the location of it is one of the things. So I wanted to just bring it open. We've got the GitHub as far as a possible location. I don't know if everybody has seen, I shared a screenshot of it earlier. Been doing some work here earlier today, actually. So this looks different from probably whenever you last saw it, but this is our Git book. And this is where I actually is at the top of my list for us to put our white paper. But I wanted to open it up to some other thoughts for everybody else that's on the call here, what your thoughts are as far as where we want our white paper to be, like the finished white paper when we call, okay, this is version 1 of our white paper, where do we want that to sit?
Should I go first? All right. Well, okay. So I think if I could just share my screen real fast, I'm gonna go ahead and share it yeah, this isn't Zoom. Sweet.
Yeah, and I'll bring that up when you get it shared here so I can see it.
All right, I got it. I believe I have it shared.
Yep, I'm just loading it on my end here too, so that we get it recorded.
Okay, cool. I think like I don't know how that works great too. Awesome, sick. Okay, so I was looking through like some of the resources on GitHub with just like like one. I don't think this. Oh yeah, like this one's like this kind of like a DAO framework, and like basically, when I was like thinking of like the white paper, I feel like very strongly that the white paper should kind of like I was researching like what white papers are really for, anyways, and it's basically like you want to try to convince and market your product to the potential like consumer or whoever you're trying to get to buy what you're selling. So what I was thinking is like I was looking at other DAOs as an example on for example like DApp Radar and just kind of how their token economies kind of work. And what I see a lot is basically they have like kind of like an ecosystem of tokens, right? Where like there's not just the governance token. There's not just like one set token, but there's like a whole set of usually like 2 to 3 coins that are going to interact with each other in some way. And I kind of felt like we could kind of like lay something around that out. I don't know how you feel about it, Yonks, but like regarding how different services are paid for or dealt with, like for example, like when people are going to like purchase the NFTs for the real estate, basically we could force them to pay with our like a coin that we mint directly for REtoken, and that way REtoken itself can remain the governance coin of our organization. Um, I feel like that kind of I was looking into like how exactly that could play out, or how like other examples that companies are kind of using, but I do see that like that type of like architecture for this frequently, and the benefit of that is I believe that you or your wife had said at some point, when I'd asked questions about how the real estate you see like the real estate purchasing side of this working. I don't remember if you guys had said you were planning on basically getting an LLC for each or each purchase or each place. If that's true, or we wanted to work out something like that, or so we're like selling NFTs for each individual like owned location. Um, it would make it easy to do too, where we could mint a coin that is to purchase just that location. So like basically, and then force them to pay in that coin. I don't know. There's just like situations. I kind of have to look into the dynamics behind it further, but they just kind of opens up a little bit of possibilities if we consider like having a side token to REtoken that somehow interacts with it in a way. As far as where I see this like draft one of the white paper should probably be, I mean, like I feel like you looking at the Trello cards, we're trying to kind of get like hopefully like an IDO by the end of this year, or like by like the third fourth quarter. So, um, that being said, I believe like for the first draft of the white paper, we should have like a rough architected framework of it, and like just like basically a draft of what we could potentially do and what a baseline like architecture, like baseline architecture for our ecosystem we're trying to hit is going to be originally. Um, and basically just kind of draft out and push what's going to bring value to REtoken, where because I know looking at like everything you've had posted on there, like there's a lot that we want to do, right? Like Token Town, build. Like so I think that would already be another token. But basically we could have everything managed under like the REtoken as our DAO coin, everything else minted. Basically we mint separate tokens. We could create token factories, stuff like that, like the text kind of there, and that way we would already have semi of a framework of like how to build it out as well, that we could take from other open source DAOs. Yeah. Yeah. Young. Youngs, I don't know if maybe it's just me. Like, yeah, maybe I just can't see your screen. I don't know if like my share took over yours or not. I was, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I definitely feel the conservative side is better. Like as far as I mean, yeah, a lot better than kind of I don't know because there are like you said, there's a lot of people that are kind of pushing the boundaries right now, and I personally feel there's going to eventually be a crackdown, and I would hope we're not one of them. But I do feel strongly that if we set this up properly, then there would be no legal way for them to really like attack us in the same manner as other companies that are kind of offering legitimate securities. And that was actually kind of one of the benefits that I was going to say with like us using other minted tokens, like have a system of like how the tokens would be minted for like maybe like each crowdfunding opportunity in specifically, that might give us more flexibility and allow us to not exactly say that they're like security offerings but some type of liquidity pool or part of a pool of liquidity for something like that. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking around too. See, the other opportunity that I thought was possible is it. I believe that you and your wife both have some type of real estate license and real estate connections, correct? Or like you
Hey
guys.
guys, not to, sorry to interrupt, but I think we're getting kind of we're getting a little carried away from the white paper planning, and we're kind of getting bogged down in the details of tokenomics right now.
Mhm.
From a content creation standpoint, it might be good to have like a public GitHub set up for our white paper so that people can use the version control to see all of the different iterations and drafts that we went through when we were finalizing the white paper.
I think you created that last time, no?
Awesome. That's my only concern, really.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, I prefer the other GitHub to Gitbook, but I mean, I could put it. What happens if we push it to GitHub instead of Gitbook? I'm trying to figure okay, yeah. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Yeah, I've seen tons of them use Gitbook. I mean, I believe that's probably one of the best places. I mean, like, yeah, definitely. And then I also agree with like the potentially like I believe you just said like lowering liquidity or something, but or whatever you had said about the token before it. That other yeah, I feel like that's a good idea too. Kind of.
What were you saying about BitDAO? Is I don't is this made by like a centralized exchange? Is that what that is? Like Bybit or something? Oh, okay. No, but I know about Bybit. I don't know about BitDAO. I've never heard of them. Okay, sounds good. That's all I need.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You think just chiming in here, I think personally that would fit better into the how to. Um, so we haven't really discussed what the how to sessions will entail, and I know we only have 5 minutes left, but is it so I know you guys mentioned a book. I would assume that part of the preparation for the how to session is to do some background reading for those of us who are new, to check out some examples of white papers. Like, do you have action items for people to do in preparation for the how-to sessions?
That would be with that, but I think it would be okay. I'll just try later.
So just to hop in here. So far I'm tracking. We should check out BitDAO's white paper. You mentioned Realty.co. I know they're not necessarily in the exact space that we're in, but it's similar. So I took that down as a white paper to check out as well. I don't know if that makes sense for the group, along with T-Rex protocol and then the ERC 3643 standard. Just kind of taking notes of homework in order to prepare for Saturday.
Good. Oh, no.
Yeah, last thought, because again, for those of us that are new, it helps to refer to the resources to prep. So obviously, we want to take another look at, the roadmap, the mission, uh, vision of REtoken as a whole. Are there any additional resources you recommend? Say, hey, key in on this because this will really help you get a framework for where we're trying to go. Yeah, I think the work products being developed now, like the white paper, and like you said, what is REtoken slide deck, which the white paper should feed directly right into that. those types of resources where you don't have to have someone sit down and explain to each and every person what the token is and where the goals are, I think those types of documents are really going to shape the future. I see the pieces in the Discord and in the various sites that are linked there, but I think once that white paper gets created, once some more resources on go here, and it'll give you a full summary of the project, I think it's so much easier moving forward and make it easier to give work to ambassadors. So I think we're on the right track. Sounds good.
I for yesterday to those that have Discord channels, but I don't have emails for those that are in YouTube or Facebook or things like that. I don't know how you send it out to them. So just hit me in the back channel, Mrs. Young, if you have those info, so I can send the POAP for yesterday. That's all.
Feel free to share it with me. I may or may not check it out.
Just to kind of jump in on the POAP thing, I enjoy doing those as well. I just haven't had the bandwidth lately. But it's fairly simple if you just I think Yonks said he had a link to it. They're fairly easy to make. All you need is the information and the image. Takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes to put one together, I think. But yeah, if anybody is kind of interested in learning how to do that, I believe we have like dedicated resources to that Yonks has posted, and I'd encourage everybody to kind of look into that because it is like something that it's fairly easy to pick up, and it's a way to kind of learn to basically it's minting an NFT. So yeah, if anybody wants to get involved, like unfortunately I don't have the capacity to do a lot of these things anymore, but I'm happy to like help out if I can be of any of assistance there.
Sounds good. And I'm gonna make two separate like Trello cards real quick. One's gonna be like kind of more for you if you could like check it out. Maybe if you just want me to like message you the questions, but basically like questions that I think we should have, like questions that I feel like should be answered in the REtoken white paper 101 for like that we're gonna have to answer while we're explaining how we're gonna write our white paper. So basically like one of them would have been like what is REtoken, blah blah, like stuff like that. And then also I was just gonna go ahead and like make like a rough draft checklist for like with all like some of the resources that we have available, and then someone else can like we can all collaboratively edit it. But basically a checklist for new members. That way we'd have like a checklist that we could refer new members to that will have all our resources and like a little thing they can go through to get a better understanding of what REtoken is and what we're trying to do. Sounds good. Hoorah. Hoorah.
Good night, everyone,
Hoorah.
and happy Veterans Day if anybody.
Oh yeah, thank you for serving if anyone's a veteran. Thank you.
Happy Veterinarians Day.
You guys have a good one.